The war in Ukraine is forcing Europe to a major crossroads, making it rethink its entire security and future. Let's start with the human cost. This quote is from a child, one of thousands caught in the middle. The UN has verified this number: over 1,200 children deported or transferred by Russian authorities. And get this, a staggering 80% of these documented children still haven't returned home. The UN's conclusion is blunt. This isn't just a tragedy, it's been classified as a crime against humanity. So these tragedies are shaking everything up, forcing a huge question. Is Europe's security system actually broken? You see, for decades, a very specific system kept a fragile peace, with players like NATO and the OSCE. These were the institutions that defined the post-Cold War era, but now their roles are completely up in the air.
It leaves Europe stuck between two models: the old reliance on US leadership and a new need for its own power.
So what could Europe's security look like by 2035? A European Parliament study explored just that. All right, let's dive in. The report outlines 4 conflicting scenarios and 1 cooperative, but very tricky alternative. First up, antagonism. This is pretty much today's situation, just intensified, with a strong US-led NATO. In this future, the alliance holds firm, but Europe has to pay a much, much bigger share of the bill.
But what if the US pulls back? That leads to scenario 2, a European NATO led by France and the UK.
Europe would be in charge, but the price tag for security would be way, way higher. Scenario 3 is even more radical: an EU defense union, where the EU itself becomes a military superpower. This means a total pivot to a war economy, where defense overshadows pretty much everything else. And then there's the bleakest outcome: patchwork. Alliances collapse, it's every nation for itself. In this future, Europe is totally fragmented and vulnerable, basically a playground for other world powers. So, to sum up these 4 futures, the big variables are the US role and the cost. And that cost is huge. But wait, there's one more path, a 5th scenario that aims for peace, called cooperative coexistence. Now, this sounds great, right? But the report warns this kind of peace rarely just happens on its own. Historically, peace like this is triggered by a new crisis, unbearable costs, or a huge change in leadership. Which brings us full circle. The future isn't about treaties. It's about preventing more stories like the one we started with. So if that's the price of peace, what choices can leaders make today to build a better future?